TIFU by agreeing to an open relationship. Obviously a throwaway. To put things into perspective, I am 20, and my GF, F21, had been dating/together for 4 and a bit years. Typical high school sweethearts, we wanted to move away and start our own lives after college. We decide to spice things up a bit and open up our relationship a little. It was pretty much a joint decision, but looking back she was kind of insistent on the whole sex is fun idea. She is on a night out with some friends when she phones me and asks if the whole open relationship thing is still cool, explaining she's met a guy, M24, and asks for me to pay for a hotel because she wasn't working at the time. I agreed. I tell her to go for it, and she does. She texts me to say she had a good night and that all was well. The week after, she mentions she's meeting up with this guy again. Wasn't expecting it, but I'm cool with it. Again, asks for me to pay for her hotel. A decision I would live to regret. She doesn't text me the entire night. Weird, but okay, maybe she's just having a good time. The next day I receive a load of messages about how she needs a break from everything right now. Meeting this guy has apparently opened her eyes. A little more conversation and we're over. She's completely cut me out of her life. I check her Snapchat story, and of course, she's with him. I've heard from her friends that they're dating now. TLDR, agreed to an open relationship, basically paid for my girlfriend to find someone better and dump me. The worst trade deal in the history of trade deals. It's actually money well spent. The relationship was going to end regardless. 2 nights for a hotel room is definitely cheaper than a couple years of dates. Open relationship or not, the right one will always be by your side. /u/fence_polio this comment right here, buddy, wish you well. Yep. Much cheaper than an engagement ring, wedding, and years of debt from the divorce and emotional toll it takes on you. Got off easy, sucks, but it's true. Especially if they have kids together. I don't even want to think about that, it makes me shudder with fear, lol. I'm currently living that nightmare, please send help. He's not even 21, think of all the money he'll save not having to go out and pay for his unemployed ex. The sooner he realizes that he's not the loser of that relationship when it comes down to it, the better. This comment right here is the gold. Op pays for a 24-year-old adult to bang his girlfriend twice. And, while that stings like hell, the reality is that she left him for a 24-year-old loser who is too cheap or broke to shell out for his own fuck pad. She did not trade up, and that dude is in no way better than Op, except maybe this dude is better at sex. But, even then, you can learn how to be good at sex. Op, hit the gym, get some new clothes, try something you couldn't do while you were with her, and don't look back. Was gonna say this is a super cheap life lesson. If your partner pushes for an open relationship and you don't agree, then say no. Agreeing because you think it will help the relationship, it will mostly likely add more problems if not ruin the relationship. Since she was pushing, she probably wanted out or a free card to chest. Never pay for your GF to fuck someone else, unless you want a reason to dump her. What kind of heartless bitch asks for money to fuck some other dude? Shows how little she thought of you. At the same time, I doubt Op thinks very highly of himself, considering he twice bought hotels so his girlfriend can fuck his replacement. Honestly, it's better to find out this quick and rather painless way than having a shitty relationship for many years before things break another way. Consider it a blessing and move on from it. If she was this quick to jump ship, then she probably had wildly different expectations of your relationship. She can be that other dude's problem now. Sounds to me like she already was the other dude's problem, and this is how she integrated him into the conversation without coming off as a cheater. That's why she was so pushy about it, as she already had her wheels in motion. I was thinking this as well, but you'd think she would have just left Op instead of insisting on an open relationship. My money is on she didn't want to be the bad guy to their mutual group of friends. Money is the issue. She had none and still wanted Op to pay for her dates with new boy, likely until new boy got too uncomfortable with it and made her actually break it off. The fact that there is a money part is just absolutely ridiculous. What a selfish thing to do to someone who cares about you. My thing though is this. She left you for a man who can't even pay for a hotel room for her? I bet there is a reason they couldn't go back to his place and he couldn't put a room on his credit card. She'll be back, just make sure to send her on her way when she comes back. Take it from me, this is a much cheaper way to find out than the amount of money I lost selling the engagement ring after I got it back. That sucks to hear, man. Hope things work out for you in the future. At least you got it back. Divorce is a lot more expensive. Count your pennies and move forward. Why did you pay for the hotel once let alone twice? I mean, this is the real question. Why did Op blindly agree that they needed a hotel room? Did he really believe that neither had any other place to go, or that all fucking must occur in the unsupportive, cum-stained bed of a Holiday Inn Express? Wait, you can fuck outside of this Holiday Inn? Well, shit, this opens up a whole new world. It's similar to banging in a dumpster behind a Wendy's. She incorporated a bun into the lovemaking. Bit of a tip, mate. If a girl suggests being in an open relationship, unless you're 100% on board with it, don't do it. Although I imagine it's not every case, but chances are she would have just ended up cheating on you. It's a bit of a red flag. Not saying all open relationships are going to go badly, but often it's a sign the relationship isn't equal. The person with power makes the move and forces the other into it. Sounds like you weren't totally on board with it and were just desperate to keep it going. You're better off without her, mate. Honestly, this sounds bad and please don't take it as me shitting on you. But you should have had a pair of balls and told her no, you or him should pay for it. It's often a huge red flag, lol. Reddit normalizes it, but they hardly work as one usually gets all the action and the other doesn't. Women can get guys way out of their league if they just want one night as well. Guys will climb over themselves to get a quickie. Usually the power is then one way. The guy sits at home and waits. There are so many more guys wanting hookups than girls. Why clubs have discriminatory practices to make sure it's 50-50, it's like no cover charge for women. Or women get a free drink, etc. There are plenty of sex clubs in big cities. Single females welcome, but a man must bring a woman. Otherwise guys will be lined up around the block. If some dude is letting me fuck his girlfriend, the least I could do is pay for the hotel? Either the guy didn't know, or they were laughing at her dumb boyfriend the whole time for paying for that shit. Odds are you haven't heard the last from her. You should prepare yourself for the inevitability that she will one day feel sad, or lonely, or bored, or she'll get dumped, and come to think of you, and how well you treated her. Don't forget how she treated you. Dude, this is 100,000% the correct response. Op, it sucks now, but in a matter of a few weeks you'll be doing great. Out with the boys trying to find some co-eds. Right around this point she'll get jealous, she'll get dumped, her family will make her feel bad, etc. Do not fucking fall for that shit. Don't answer texts, calls, letters, or smoke signals. Inevitably this will happen. It's the oldest story in the fucking book. When she comes back you have two options. 1, you take her back, it's good for 6 months, then she finds someone else and breaks your heart again. 2, you cut this awful person off, ignore her when she tries to talk to you and you find someone better. I assure you that this option will hurt her more than she ever hurt you. Don't fuck it up when it happens. This shit happened to me and I took them back. Awful decision. Don't let the love and good memories of them blind you. Remember how they made you feel like shit when they come back. Best few $100 you've ever spent, someone above is looking out for you. This girl has shown her true character, which is to say she is insensitive, selfish, and uncaring. It hurts you right now, because high school sweethearts etc., but for both emotional and financial reasons you are better discovering her true nature now than after another 5 or 10 years together. Decide if you want to expose yourself to the vulnerability of an open relationship in the future. It sounds cool and trendy on the surface but is obviously a minefield. Hope you can find someone who is like yourself, and for some reason I hope you decide against someone who may just flippantly drop you at the drop of a hat because you experimented with this again. BTW. Why didn't her new fling pay for the hotel? Probably because he's a loser or a user. They deserve each other, don't go back there. There's a real chance the luster will be off their relationship in a very short time, don't go back. Edit, to the kind stranger who gilded this, thank you. Can I message you in case I feel down at some point? You really know how to pep talk. Sure. I'd do my best, even if it is just to listen, that alone can be therapeutic for lots of people. Wholesome thread. Sounds like she doesn't understand exactly what an open relationship is and basically used the term for an excuse to cheat. Which is exactly what open relationship means 90% of the time. It's a one-sided openness that a moron uses as an excuse to cheat on the other one. Change my mind. If they are both honest with each other and both equally okay with the situation, then it's an open relationship. If any lying is involved, or one person is less into it and doesn't say so, basically lying, then it's cheating, or a type of cheating. So I would categorize the ones you're referring to as not open relationships at all. Imo.